years ago, US forces
have stolen almost £1.2 billion worth of cryptocurrency.
Australia is to ban children from using social media. The legislation will impose and enforce.
The Department of Education recently banned ChatGPT, citing the safety and accuracy of content.
Driver of that youth mental health crisis.
American voters are being bombarded with disinformation, much of it coming from foreign adversaries. It's unprecedented.
Over in Hollywood, the writer's strike is officially finished.
Attention all flight crew members, this is the final go-no-go.
Exactly 20 years ago, US forces with the UK invaded Iraq in order to oust dictator Saddam Hussein.
Hundreds of thousands of Iraqis were killed. No one knows how many exactly.
It's the latest display of defiance from most
violence shattered Squirrel Hill, the heart of Pittsburgh's Jewish community.
Вице-президент СССР Янаев.
Honorable directors, distinguished chairs, hardworking delegates, appreciated admin, and most esteemed guests.
Welcome to ASIJMUN 2025. We are Mirabelle Lee and Leah Kanegawa, and we are grateful to serve as the Secretary Generals for the 5th Annual ASIJMUN Conference. As you can see, there's a lot to accomplish from the video, which represented various issues the committees will be addressing.
We would like to sincerely thank all of you for attending our conference today. This past year has been eventful, to say the least. From the inauguration of President Trump, Israel and Hamas entering a ceasefire in Gaza, and Thailand becoming the first Southeast Asian country to legalize same-sex marriage, the world has experienced profound change. These events remind us that diplomacy, cooperation, and informed leadership are more crucial than ever. As we embark on this conference, let us channel these lessons into meaningful discussions and innovative solutions for the future.
As we reflect on the importance of discipline and resilience in shaping our future, we turn to the performance that embodies these very qualities. Kendo, the traditional Japanese martial arts of swordsmanship, is not just about combat, it is a practice of discipline and respect. Just as diplomacy requires patience and precision, Kendo teaches its practitioners to remain composed under pressure and to strike with intention. It is our honor to present a Kendo performance showcasing the harmony of skill and spirit. Please join me in welcoming our performers.
Good morning, everyone. Our names are Sochi, Eito, and Jaden, and we are the student leaders of the ASIJ Kendo Club. I've been practicing Kendo for about 7 years, and I am currently a senior. Eito is a sophomore, and Jaden is in 8th grade. They have both been practicing for about 5 years. Kendo is a traditional Japanese style of sword fighting, which came from the fighting methods of the samurai warriors. By my side, you can see how Jaden and Eito are putting on the traditional armor called bogu. Kendo is not just a sport, but is also a lifelong practice in building a strong mind and spirit. Kendo is a unique material of martial art that brings people together. Regardless of skill level, age, experience, or language, everyone can train together, improve, and work together. We will now demonstrate the 3 main basic strikes used in Kendo: men, kote, and do. The first strike is called men. As you will see, Eito will aim for Jaden's head armor, also called men. The second strike is called kote. To execute this strike, the attacker aims for the opponent's right wrist. The third and final strike is called do. For this strike, the attacker aims for the opponent's right abdomen. Next, we will demonstrate different types of techniques used in matches, which all incorporate these 3 basic moves. Next, we will demonstrate 3 different moves used in kata, which are prearranged sequences of movements that help practitioners develop proper technique, precision, and understanding of traditional swordsmanship. Thank you all so much for watching our Kendo demonstration, and welcome to Japan. We wish you all the best of luck with the MUN conference.
Thank you for the amazing performance. Now we would like to turn your attention to Miss Katrina Baker. Originally from the United States, Miss Baker has spent the past 15 years living overseas in Thailand, the Philippines, and Japan. With over 20 years of experience as a classroom teacher, she now serves as the Director of Service Learning at ASIJ, where she is deeply committed to fostering a mindset of sustainability.
Thank you, ladies. That was so impressive. I always just, every time I see it, both our Kendo program and our karate program, I'm just blown away. Okay, so distinguished delegates, honored guests, faculty advisors, and members of our ASIJ community. When I first heard this year's theme of Pack to the Future, I immediately thought of that time-traveling DeLorean from one of my all-time favorite movies, Back to the Future. Visuals for those that are unfamiliar. Then, remembering this movie was released in the mid-'80s, I immediately felt really, really old. Was I just turning into that person who sees '80s references everywhere, desperately clinging to my glory days of scrunchies and cassette tapes? But when I saw the logo the ASIJ team created, I realized 2 things that brought me instant and constant comfort. First, oops. My logo didn't work. Oh, there's supposed to be the logo up there. You'll see it in a second. I realized 2 things that brought me instant comfort. First, 80s movies, and music for that matter, will thankfully never die. And second, whether intentional or not, There's a perfect connection between this classic film and the important work you're about to cover over the next couple of days. For those of you who haven't had the chance to see the true classic, it's about a teenager who discovers that small choices in one moment can create ripple effects across time, sometimes for better and sometimes for worse. What a perfect metaphor. This conference challenges us all to think deeply about the kind of future we want to help create, and to make a promise to that future. I wholeheartedly believe sustainability must be at the heart of that pact. As the parent of 2 daughters, 8 and 10, I think constantly about the world they'll inherit. Having worked in the US, Thailand, Philippines, and now Japan, I've seen how sustainability challenges show up differently across the world, and yet how deeply, deeply connected they are. And across all these experiences, one thing continues to stand out. Real change often begins with young people. It happens when you bring new perspectives to long-standing problems. In my role as Director of Service Learning here at ASIJ, I've seen both the passion our students have for taking action and the very real obstacles we face in turning passion into real, lasting change. I see it in the food waste we still have in our cafeteria, something that affects our environmental footprint and reflects how easy it is to take resources for granted. I see it in the single-use plastics still around campus, despite our efforts to reduce them. And I see it in the air conditioning running while students are rocking full-on hoodies and pajama bottoms. These aren't just abstract climate issues. They're the small, everyday contradictions that many of us live with. And they mirror the larger sustainability struggles that every community faces. But here's something you may or may not find surprising. Most of the sustainability solutions we need already exist. We don't need to invent some magical new technology like a flux capacitor to time travel. There's my flux capacitor. We know how to restore ecosystems, build circular economies, reduce carbon emissions, and design more just, inclusive systems. What we're missing isn't knowledge. It's the choice to act. It's not about knowing what to do. It's about actually doing it, collectively. And that's exactly why your role as MUN delegate is so, so powerful. In your committees, you'll practice the skills our world needs most: how to listen, collaborate, compromise, and turn individual ideas into collective action. These conversations aren't just simulations. They're preparation for the real work of creating the kind of world we all want to live in. So, as you debate and build alliances over the next couple of days, I want to offer 3 guiding principles I've found at the heart of effective sustainability work. Number 1, think systemically. Sustainability isn't just about the environment. It's economic, social, and cultural. Economic growth without fairness leads to inequality. Environmental action that ignores local communities can do more harm than good. And development that dismisses traditional knowledge misses powerful, time-tested wisdom. Everything is deeply connected, and real solutions take those connections into account. Number 2, center justice. Sustainability can't be achieved without fairness. We have to ask hard questions. Who benefits from this policy? Who bears the cost? Who gets left out? As the world shifts to new technologies and greener economies, we need to make sure we're not repeating old patterns of exclusion. Climate solutions shouldn't burden the very communities that are already struggling. Justice has to be built into the design from the very beginning. And third, make it personal. This is something I've learned again and again through our sustainability efforts here at ASIJ. If we don't connect the big issues to our daily lives, change feels too far away. Whether it's bringing your own reusable mug, taking only the food you'll eat, separating trash properly, or turning off lights when you leave a room, it all matters. The little things really do add up. The policies you advocate for in these rooms should reflect values that actually you're willing to live by. Because when there's a gap between what we say what we're going to do, people notice and trust breaks down. Being real is one of the most powerful tools you have in this life. I honestly believe Gen Z sees things way more clearly than my generation ever did. You've grown up with climate change as your reality, not a debate. You've watched wildfires, floods, extreme weather unfold on your news feeds. You've seen greenwashing called out on Instagram, environmental justice movements amplified on TikTok, and your favorite creators fact-checking companies and holding them accountable in real time. You've questioned the idea that more is better, and many of you are even looking for purpose over profit. That clarity is your strength. Own it and use it. And know this, what you do here, it matters. Every speech you give, every resolution you help shape, every connection you make ripples outwards in ways you may never see, but will always matter. Your voice matters, your ideas matter, and the work you do here has meaning far beyond this weekend. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being part of this conversation. Thank you for being part of our pact to the future. And as Doc Brown said in the movie, where we are going, we don't need roads. We need you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Baker. It is our pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Wilcox. In summary, Mr. Wilcox has a BA from Harvard University in Government and a Master's of Education from the University of Missouri. He has worked across many subjects and now holds several leadership positions across schools. Here is Mr. Wilcox.
Thank you, Mirabelle, and welcome to everyone. Welcome to ASIJ. I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to welcome you. One of the things to know about ASIJ is that though we pride ourselves on providing great learning experience for our kids today, we're a school that always has one eye on the future. So I was really excited to see that our theme for the MUN conference is Pact to the Future, because it really does represent how at ASIJ, and I'm guessing at your schools too, we think about schooling, which is we're preparing you not just for today, but for the future. So I was actually really excited when they asked me to do this as well, because MUN, as Ms. Baker was referring to, I think it's actually really important, because when I think about what it is that the world needs from you, and also what it is you need to be able to do to thrive in the world, at MUN you're really developing the skills and the dispositions that fit with those needs. And one of the things that MUN does, I think, is more than being a simulation, it really is a training ground for future leaders and for change makers. But one of the things I wanted to say, and this is sort of building off what Ms. Baker talked about, is sometimes when we use the term change maker, or sometimes you'll hear things that are like, oh, your generation has to fix things. I don't think that's the right approach, that you don't need to solve everything. That's not what the world needs from you. I love what Ms. Baker was saying, that about the little actions that you make, that they have a ripple effect that go beyond, including today, but then out in the world. So what the world needs from you, and what it is I think you're practicing over these next 2 days, is really contributing, right? It's contributing, and if everybody is contributing, then that's what's really gonna make a difference. And the other thing I wanna say about that is that sometimes there's like this negative view of the future. And I think a lot of it is sort of an adult orientation, because we're scared of all the things that are happening around us that are different than what we experienced, and also the pace of change. But I'm guessing for some of you, it's less scary than it is for us. And in fact, I have a really optimistic view of the future, because when I look at the possibilities with artificial intelligence or with biomedical technologies, and I look at the skills and dispositions and ways that you all interact with the world, I think we have a real opportunity to have the world be a really even better place, even though at this moment, it maybe doesn't feel that way. And so I hope as you go through the weekend, you're gonna embrace that optimism and embrace those possibilities, and maybe not be thinking so much about the scary things, but really what we can and you can accomplish. The last thing I wanna say about MUN is that, I mentioned before this contribution, is what I love about Model United Nations is you really are putting into practice some really specific skills that you need to thrive. So we were really lucky last week. We had a visitor. She's a futurist. Her name is Dr. Ulka Joshi Hansen. She wrote a book called The Future of Smart. And what she talks about is in an age of AI, what we really need are human competencies to be developed. Lasting human competencies that even as AI or technologies change are uniquely human that we need to thrive in the future. And I'm going to name some of them, and they're exactly the things you're going to be practicing and building and developing over the next few days. So it's as humans exploring and learning about and wrestling with complex and real world issues. It's managing ambiguity. And one of the things that she spoke about is that in order to learn to manage ambiguity as an adult, you have to practice managing ambiguity when you're a young person. And that's exactly what you're going to be doing over the next couple of days, because none of you know how any of this is going to go. And that's the fun and exciting part, but it also is exactly what you need to thrive in the future. It involves discovering what you value, and also at the same time being able to learn and listen deeply to others and what matters to them and seeing the world through their eyes. And most importantly, finding that common ground about how we move forward together to solve problems rather than looking for the things that keep us different or apart. It's practicing empathy, it's connecting with others, it's collaborating, it's thinking critically. And I think most importantly, it's practicing using your voice to make a positive difference in the world and contribute. So just as Ms. Baker said, so that that voice and your contribution can ripple far beyond what you're doing today or what's going to happen in the future. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being part of Model United Nations. It's an awesome experience. We're extremely happy to have you here and to host, and have a fantastic conference.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wilcox. As we're sure you've heard, the theme for this year's conference is Pact to the Future. This theme serves both as a challenge and an opportunity. A challenge to confront the current global issues and an opportunity to create solutions that will shape the future world. At this time of political shifts and societal transformations, MUN serves as a platform to analyze the present and lay the foundation for a just and sustainable future. We believe that this theme encourages delegates to think beyond immediate concerns and to look at the bigger picture. Every decision we make has a long-term impact and has the potential to shape international relations for generations.
We would also like to note how a pact is a promise, an agreement, and a vow. History has shown us the consequences of both honoring and breaking these commitments. When President Trump signed an executive order to withdraw the United States from the Paris Agreement for the second time, it raised concerns about the fragility of international relations. However, it also demonstrated the determination of other nations to uphold actions against climate change despite setbacks. The decisions made in this conference, though simulated, mirror the responsibility that world leaders carry that define our future. It is important to keep in mind that the strength of the pact relies not only on the creation, but also the fulfillment.
Humanity is naturally innovative and has weathered many storms in the past. Though challenges may seem endless, history has shown progress is always possible. Too often we hear that the world's problems are too great to overcome, that conflict and crisis will persist, but that is simply not true.
Innovation, diplomacy, and collaboration have led to advancements once thought impossible, such as the eradication of smallpox and breakthroughs in space exploration. And at the heart of this progress is young people, our ideas, and willingness to challenge the status quo.
So with that being said, we will now be recognizing the chairs of committees. Chairs, when you hear your committee and names, please come up on the stage to retrieve your gavel.
Oh, we're great on time.
Whoa, whoops, I thought it like ended at...
Don't we have an hour?
Yeah. Whoops. Who's stressing? I thought it ended at 10:15. Okay.
I forgot to write his name down. Was it Santiago Wong? Santiago.
Wait, what slide is this?
Go back one. WHO, Kai Daos and Santiago Wong. HRC, Meg Kurosu and Shota Sato. Kopus, Junu Min, Luisa Triskova. SOCOM, Michael Milvisky and Isaiah Lee Armont.
ECOSOC, Eli Said Pluchino, Johannes Ben. Specpol, Nadia Kashi and Ruby Hannum. UNSC, Jim and Kim and Deanne Sarkar. Crisis, Koyo, Odagiri and Nathan Swing. Should we
look at the camera up there?
The camera's up there, like under the projector. Should we stand with them?
No. You can go this way.
Yeah. Thanks, chairs.
The success of this conference is not measured by the number of resolutions passed, but the depth of the discussions, the compromises reached, and the perspectives gained. This is your chance to think critically, collaborate effectively, and demonstrate the diplomacy that is essential for shaping the future. We look forward to many drafted resolutions, compromises, and fruitful debates at the conference. And with that being said, we hereby declare ASIJMUN 2025 in session.
So thank you so much, everyone. We are very in front of schedule. So just a couple housekeeping things to start before I let you off into your committee rooms. First thing is once all your delegates are in the committee rooms, just start attendance and start debate. I know we're 30 minutes ahead, but I think it's better since we can just get debate started. On your schedules, there are a couple errors. Sorry about that. There is no grill and chill today. Today ends at 4:45. And COPUS, UN for MUN group, you guys are in room 208, so just follow the crowd up to where everyone else goes. Bathrooms we have student bathrooms and then adult bathrooms. Student bathrooms are, this is hard to explain. You will find them. Ask an ASIJ person. We also have gender-neutral bathrooms in the first floor of the lobby, like in a hallway towards the locker rooms in front of the hospitality room. Thank you. And then the Wi-Fi password, in case y'all missed it, it is in the corner of your pamphlet. The password is Mustangs, all lowercase. And did I miss anything?
Yes, and chairs, please check your GChat frequently and now. You should check it now.
Also, we do have like designated ASIJ guides in each committee room. Could y'all just raise your hands up real quick if you're like a guide? Thank you.
And then turn around so they can see.
Yeah, turn around, look around. And then also all of ASIJ, please raise your hands. all of these people know where to go, know the high school, maybe not the ones on the left because they are our middle schoolers, but yeah, they will guide you. And if you ever need help, just call us over.